Live from the land of the ice and snow, it's Geek Show Podcast.
And now a message from Masameda, spokes-Chagrian for Emperor Palpatine. Some of you may have noticed a post by His Majesty this morning on Sheev Social, quote, "Watching Wicket and Chief Chirpa in Caravan of Courage and the Battle of Endor has made me like Ewoks again. Nope, no one should take anger against one or two rebels and transfer that hatred toward millions of innocent Ewoks. Thank you, Chief Chirpa. I love you. The Emperor hopes," that's the end of the statement, "the Emperor hopes that you will believe his post, let him out of the galaxy's Sharhound house just in time for the release of his new album, The Life of Pop Lou, on Death Star Records," on this episode of Geek Show.
Geek Show, Geek Show!
GeekShowPodcast.com.
What a specific and topical intro.
Yeah, well done.
I've been known to be specific and topical.
You guys, if I ever get time travel powers, I'm not killing Hitler. I'm taking a DVD copy of 21 Jump Street and making him watch that.
Yes, that'll fix everything.
Rebecca Frost is here, everybody. Rebecca Frost.
Hello. Am I introing anything right now? I'm so sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
Your new stuff.
You can find my new YouTube channel, The Critic's Darling, on YouTube and TikTok and Twitter. But just go to YouTube first. Thank you. The end.
All right. Thank you very much. Lee George Cade is here. Yes?
Hi, I don't have a new channel. I have the same channel. This channel, Geek Show Podcast.
This one.
But we're doing some new content with Geek Show Tabletop. We found a new format, 1-minute news segments. We're also going to do some live painting demos and some game demos and other stuff. But the 1-minute format, the lesson learned from this week, the word Warhammer means lots of views. The word not Warhammer means not so many views.
Oh.
Lesson learned. Everything's Warhammer now.
Tony knows about Warhammer. Quad T, Too Tall Tony, is here.
I've heard of that.
Tony, can you give us a quick lecture about Warhammer?
Well, the etymology is there's two words, war and hammer.
There you go.
That's all you need. Check me out on Twitter at Quad T Tony or on the Gadget Spot Podcast.
I retweeted, and I think everybody retweeted those 1-minute Warhammer videos of Lee and also Rebecca's stuff. So
yeah.
you can, if you don't go direct, go in a roundabout fashion to our stuff.
You'll find it. I believe
New catchphrase in the Cade household. They killed him so much. We got that from
They
Critics
killed
Darling.
him so much.
I loved that. And don't forget about our host, Mr.
Yes.
Kerry Jackson.
Yeah,
Monday
tell
through
us about
Friday.
your shorts.
My shorts.
What are they?
I salute my shorts. Monday through Friday, x96.com in the mornings, 6 to 10 a.m. All right. Jay will be joining us here eventually. He is on the road and kind of on assignment, but he'll be joining us. Now, I've got a lot of geek news that, well, it's business news, and so we're going to save that. We're going to save that for later because some of it is kind of depressing, honestly. But we'll start with the good news. We'll lead with this. Now, me being a person of a certain age didn't think that this was such a big deal. But then I began to notice that other people of a certain age were very, very excited about this.
What are these ages?
People that were kids in the early 90s.
Yes.
Old
the
versus
original,
young.
and after.
Okay.
and after. The original Power Rangers are reuniting
Yeah.
with...
See, there's your demo that you're looking
right there.
for, Kerry.
Exactly, right there. They are back in the newest trailer for Netflix's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. And it does take place 30 years after the original show aired.
Where is the yellow one?
Well, if you watch the trailer,
if you watch the trailer,
it
you'll
looks
know.
like she was killed somehow.
Well,
I don't know if the actress is still with us.
the actress is not with us.
Oh,
yeah.
She died in 2001 from a car accident.
Yeah.
Oh, heck.
And
And
the guy
so
playing
the-
Tommy is gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so the creators chose to write in her Trini is her character, revealing that she died at the hands of the return of really the only Power Rangers villain that matters, Rita Repulsa.
Hey, wait, no. Yeah, you're right. Rita Repulsa was amazing.
Well, you
She's
like
the
Ivan
only villain.
Ooze? You like
Name
Ivan
another.
Ooze?
Name another Power
Yeah.
Rangers villain.
Okay.
Exactly.
Weak. It's time to take over the world.
You
she
got
was
Ivan.
fantastic.
You got
Well-
Ivan Ooze. You got.
Ivan Ooze.
Yeah. He was the one in the first Power Rangers movie, and then you got the guy that took over from Rita, who was her boss, who looked like he had no skin, but had a metal like suit kind of thing on.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Interesting to think Rita Repulsa had a boss.
Yeah. Well, that was the big reveal. It's
she
like,
was
wait
the
a minute,
boss.
you're
I
not
thought
the
she
biggest
was
big
the
bad.
boss. Behind every woman, there's another man in power.
In the trailer, if you watch the trailer, the first thing that does happen, Lee, and you were absolutely correct. It was, oh, now I found a new body and I'm
Yep.
back.
Yep.
After 10,000 years, I'm free. It's time to conquer Earth.
The anniversary special features the return of the earliest cast members, including David Yost's Blue Ranger Billy Cranston, Walter E. Jones' Black Ranger Zach Taylor, Catherine Sutherland's Pink Ranger Kat Hillard, Steve Cardenas' Red Ranger Rocky DeSantos, Richard Stephen Horvitz' Alpha 5, oh, the little robot,
Yeah.
and
Obviously.
and Barbara Goodson's Rita Repulsa.
What about
She's worked-
Zordon?
Let's see, Karam Ashley's second Yellow Ranger, Aisha Campbell, Johnny Young Bosch's second Black Ranger, Adam Park also appear.
Oh, they're gonna get
No
a
Amy
lot
Jo
together.
Johnson.
I was gonna say she is not. This lady's not the original Pink Ranger. I can
No,
tell you that
no.
by looking at
The
her.
original was Amy Jo Johnson.
Yeah,
She was
yeah.
much shorter. She was
Yep.
a very small little person. Tiny. She
And
was
I'm-
in some.
Is this gonna be? Is this gonna be like the Blues Clues averse movie where all the Blues Clues guys get together in their movie and they go to New York on a big adventure? That
know
literally
there's
came out
probably-
last year.
I know
It was
there's time
amazing.
travel. There's time travel involved, but anyway, it's on Netflix April 19th. So
that Blue's Clues movie? 3 tissues. I was bawling by the end.
I need to. It's literally on my watch list.
How long is this Blue's Clues movie?
Long enough.
Blue Skidoo. You can look it up too, Tony.
Did you just let me Google that
He
for
just
you?
he just
on the
Blues Clues
podcast?
you.
Jeez.
let's
deserved
see.
it.
Another trailer we got this week. The final Renfield trailer.
Oh.
It's doubling down on the Nick Cage. We get more of him in the trailer. We got a lot of gore and Radiohead.
They all go together.
2 of 3 things that you love.
Yes, he is.
Oh, you don't
he
like
is-
Radiohead?
He doesn't like Radiohead.
Oh no.
I'm not.
It's okay.
He finds them overrated.
I do. I'm sorry.
I think I agree with Carrie on this
If
one.
you
No,
enjoy
here's the thing.
Radiohead, hey,
I like
great.
Radiohead. I think Tom York is overrated.
Oh, okay.
I think he agreed.
But Nick Cage is the full Cage, as he likes to put it, in this trailer, being Dracula, and of course it's directed by Chris McKay, who knows his comedy, and it's going to be April 14th is when you can see that, so you can go watch the trailer now and enjoy it.
April
Excellent.
14th, we got Renfield, and April 19th, we got the Power Rangers. April is a month of movies, you guys.
It's
Nice
a
thing
big
about
April.
Power Rangers, you don't have to go anywhere. You just
sure
watch
is
it
a
at
month.
your house.
It sure is a month.
Also coming in April, Sweet Tooth Season 2 on Netflix.
I'm excited for this.
And look, they have an elephant boy now.
so cute.
He never forgets.
Probably get tortured and mutilated.
Oh,
and
come
That's-
on, Lee.
No, that's the
Oh.
thing, is this show is hard to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. It's based on a comic book by Jeff Lemire, and Jeff loved that comic book. And it's just hard to watch because it's these kids, they're animal-human hybrids, and the human people, think that they are the key to saving the planet from, like an apocalypse kind of thing. And so they experiment on these kids,
Was it
Yeah.
a
That
sickness?
sounds
I
accurate,
forget.
though, right?
It's
It was-
an apocalypse that wipes out things, and then these kinder start popping up.
Yeah,
So,
it's called the Great Crumble, is what they call it.
yeah.
Cookie.
This kid may be one of the best child actors alive, though.
He really is.
And I know like Robert Downey Jr. and his wife were the executive producers, and they looked and looked and looked and found these kids. They're all
Yeah.
amazing. So
It says, as a deadly new wave of the sick bears down, Gus, who is the deer antler kid, and a band of fellow hybrids are held prisoner by General Abbott and the Last Men, and Abbott is using the children as fodder for experiments.
Yep.
And so they decide to fight back in season 2.
Yeah, that part of the comics is just brutal, really, really hard to get through. So because these kids do get bisected a lot. So
it's a great show, and it'll
These kids getting bisected a lot. It's a great show.
It's a great show. It'll just leave you in tears every time. You know, it's just but it's a good watch, but a hard watch at the same time. April 27th for Sweet
That's my
Tooth,
birthday.
season 2.
Never let you
More
forget
April
it.
stuff. Jay's here.
Oh,
on.
Jay
Ding
showed
dong.
up.
After 10,000 years, I'm free. What's up, guys?
Oh, it's Jay Whittaker. Oh.
What's
I
up,
was
guys?
so hoping you'd appear from the bottom of the frame.
anybody over 50 right now is going, Kerry, that's obviously witchy poo.
It's the same voice. It's the same voice. All right.
Sorry, guys. Wrong cable.
No, it's
Wrong
all
guy.
right.
Good to see y'all.
Good to see you. You're doing a show. Let's promote that real quick.
Yeah,
You're
hey,
on
so
tour.
I'm at I am currently in Houston, Texas. Shout out to H-Town. They are showing me love. I have had so much brisket. I don't know, and
Lucky.
I'm not used to this many trans fats, lard, and MSG.
And salt.
This is great. Yes, but I am here for the Riot Comedy Festival, having a great time. And then I need everyone to go over to my YouTube channel right now at It's Jay Whittaker and subscribe immediately. April 1st, my comedy special, independently produced, unprecedented, will be coming out April 1st, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I need you to subscribe right now. So thank you.
Are you sure doing it on April 1st is a good idea?
Yeah, it's happening. There's no other way. I picked a date, and this is the best I can do. It's happening for real. So
All right.
all you
Okay.
fools, do it.
Looking forward to it. More in the good news department. Well, I guess this is good news. The Ghostbusters sequel is happening. The sequel to Afterlife, I should say. And it's being called Firehouse right now. That's probably a working title. But they have added a couple more people to the movie, and my interest is piqued. Kumail Nanjiani and Patton Oswalt
I'm in. That's all you got to say.
will be joining
Yeah,
the cast.
I want it.
they're
Yep.
great.
Love
I
both those
felt
guys.
like Afterlife wrapped up everything real nice.
Well, no, there
Well,
are
no.
other things from the first two movies that they never showed, like the firehouse.
Well, they got to the firehouse at the end of
Yeah,
of
they got to the
Afterlife.
firehouse at the end. And
Well,
then they called
it
Janine,
is-
I think.
Yeah,
It is
something.
Yeah, because then
time.
Ernie Hudson's there, right?
because he's suddenly wealthy. He's a millionaire, and he's going to pay for everything now. He's the guy who's got the money to pay for everything now. And Annie Potts was there, and they went to the firehouse at the very end. So
That tells me that the firehouse needed its own movie.
Count me in.
it was directed. The Afterlife was directed by Jason Reitman. He's not going to direct it this time. Gil Keenan is going to do it. He is Ivan's writing partner, and he directed Monster House and the Poltergeist remake and
Monster House was good.
Yeah.
a bunch of other stuff. So, yeah, that's what we got. I'm looking forward to this. We'll see. Still,
You think Patton Oswalt's going to be a firefighter?
He's gonna be a hot firefighter.
I mean,
Hot
he's got the
firefighter.
build for it.
Patton?
yeah, he's the guy you want to carry you out of a burning fire.
That is the fire. That is the firefighter. The firefighter calendar I want to see.
That's right.
So bad.
Hey,
Now
I
Kumail
actually-
Nanjiani. Now that
Oh,
guy
now
could
he
carry
could.
someone out of a fire.
Indeed.
That's for
I've
sure.
got my Ghostbusters 2017 goggles ready,
Oh,
locked
I
and
like
loaded.
those. I like those.
Underrated movie.
Let's see. I liked the 2017 one. Here we
That's what
go.
I'm saying.
Tony, Gears of War,
Okay.
a movie.
Yeah, they've been kicking around this idea for quite a while.
It's got a writer now.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah, you need those.
You need one of those.
They are important.
Or you could let the AI do it for you.
Oh.
John Spates is going to write it. He co-wrote the screenplay for Dune alongside Denis Villeneuve.
Okay.
And also Doctor Strange. He was a writer on. Yeah.
Dune, but make it Gears of War.
Gears of Dune. I'm in.
Gears of Dune. Dunes of War.
Dunes
What
of
kind
War.
of ululating are they going to have in that?
No idea.
I always
Jay?
I like Gears of War, but I just never. I felt like I couldn't get into it because I was like, in this post-apocalyptic world, how do these guys stay so jacked? Like how?
So
They
I
still
always
have
just,
workouts in the post-apocalypse.
Well, yeah, but I always just chalked it up to they're actually not on Earth. They're a different species that just looks like humans, and I think everyone's just kind of built that way.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
I thought they were going to Cable's gym because Cable, he's from a
Same way.
post-apocalyptic future. He came back jacked, right?
That's true.
So-
That's
Push-ups
right.
are still a thing. Like, people can still do push-ups.
right.
Yeah, you know what? I watched DMX's Rough Riders music video. That they were working out in the street and doing pull-ups and
Right.
RRR, when Rom is still in his little confinement cell, he's grabbing the bars up top and he's doing little pull-ups.
Yep.
Like, you can do a workout anywhere. There's no excuse.
That's
Please
what-
buy
that's what I
my
do.
supplements with this code.
So that's what I've been doing in here in my studio. I don't do anything.
I'm doing
Nothing.
I'm doing a push-up right now.
In my
Whoa.
head, I'm
you go.
exercising right now.
I love it.
I was gonna make a Kegel joke, but
I
I'm
was
not
too.
gonna.
That's what I was
Me
doing.
either.
We're all just doing
Carrie was
Kegels.
doing.
Yeah.
Just doing
All
those
right.
butt Kegels.
Let's see. Now this is interesting. There's a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game that's being prepared right now. It'll be out in a few years, it says. But it's inspired by God of War. The
Hey.
people who are making it say.
If you're going
God
to be
of War,
inspired by
Gears
or
of
copy
War.
something, inspire or copy the best.
And
Ninja
they're
Turtles
doing-
of War.
Supposedly adapting The Last Ronin, which is a fantastic storyline from TMNT.
It
Have
is.
you guys seen the trailer for the new animated movie?
Yes, and
yes.
I've never before been interested in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles until now.
Wait, really? It took you that long?
Yeah, I've never cared.
I'll say this. They better explain Michelangelo's braces in that movie, because what orthodontist is going to work on a mutant turtle like that
Well-
without telling everyone?
Well, okay, if you've got
Dr.
questions about the
Nick.
Chiefs, I've got
Dr.
a lot of
Nick.
questions about literally anything else.
Hi, everybody. You need the braces?
But isn't Baxter Stockman a doctor?
Yeah, but he's
Baxter.
also a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's not going to do
Splinter-
their, he's not going to do their
geneticist
orthodonture.
doctor, though.
Splinter's got an
Yeah.
orthodontist, right?
I could see, Splinter, it all goes back to Daredevil.
It's true.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Donatello
moves.
could make braces, right?
He's got glasses in this. So who gave Donatello his glasses?
Glasses
taught
are a
them to be
lot
ninja?
easier.
Okay, if
Oh,
we're gonna
Splinter taught them to be ninjas because he's watching Bruce Lee movies before he got changed into a smart rat.
And Splinter in this
Yeah.
movie is Jackie Chan.
Yes.
Awesome.
Perfect.
who is
Say less,
selling
I'm-
the
I'm-
Turtles pizza?
They steal it.
No, they
so
don't
they're
steal it.
They order it.
thieves?
They order it, and they show up wearing their Ben Grimm disguise kits.
Exactly.
That,
Yeah.
or they tell the guy to stand on the grate, and then they slip the money up
Yep.
through the grate, and the guy slips the pizza down through
Yeah.
the grate.
New
Also-
York, baby. Anything's
also-
possible in
Yeah,
New York.
Exactly.
In the
Listen, I
comics-
saw a video of a guy delivering an Amazon package to a
Saw
house
that
while
too.
the police were there, and like the police
Literally-
were at that. So when you say nobody wants to work,
My favorite,
no,
my
they wanna work.
favorite New York story that I like to tell is about how I was going to a rehearsal, and on my way, I had just watched the immediate aftermath of a guy who got stabbed, and he was just standing there, his shirt bleeding and tattered, standing in a pool of his own blood, smoking a cigarette and on the phone. And
Hey, can you pick me up?
just like, yeah, man, I got stabbed. Like, just waiting for the police.
My.
And then a cop car drove by, but could do nothing about it because they were only for parking enforcement. And so
Hey,
we just watched this
division of-
police car drive by.
Division of Labor Service. Yeah, you gotta keep them separated.
what you gotta do?
I love that. Anyway, that game is going to be a dark Ninja Turtles game, and it'll be out in years. All right.
Do we have? Who's making it? Do we have a developer name?
Let me see.
I'm curious about that.
Scuttlefish Interactive.
Is it
Splinter
Sure.
Productions.
Yeah.
You know, my news source does not have that.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, I hope it's-
let's see. Doug Rosen, vice president at Paramount Global.
so they'd be the publisher.
That's the publisher of the comic book. Okay, it doesn't say who's developing the game.
We'll learn in time.
All right. Let's see. Okay, now to the business of show. Everybody lost their minds this week, starting with Zachary Levi losing his mind completely.
The most unemployed actor in America.
Boy, I'll say. He was telling folks that Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, kind of torpedoed any and all cameos in Shazam 2.
Interesting.
specifically from the Justice Society. The idea was is at the end of the movie, Hawkman and one of the other heroes, Cyclone, thank you, would show up and say, "Hey, Shazam, why don't you join our team?" And apparently, according to Zachary Levi, he said, "Yeah, that's true." He commented on that. So and it was just a little post that he tagged a post with someone putting the story out, and it said, "The truth shall set you free," is what Zachary Levi put.
Lord Almighty.
Well, he started getting phone calls.
Pretentious much?
He started getting phone calls. He panicked, and he did an Instagram video.
Oh,
Now,
no, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Never do that.
No,
Come on.
Never do that.
don't react with emotion, kid.
Well, I mean, just don't react.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have tagged that story with
Do
"The
the
truth
old
shall
Florence
set you
Pugh.
free."
Florence
But
Pugh, you
it's-
gotta learn to be quiet and let the things just
Yeah.
show themselves.
Well, it's just everyone is blaming each other for the failure of this movie, apparently. But anyway, he went on and losing his mind on this video. I may or may not have, reposted something in my stories. You did.
Yeah, may or may not have. You can easily see it online.
Yeah, it's there. Don't do the may or may not have, all right? You've lost us.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do you think his publicist is like, "Zach, hi, okay, I heard about your video." Big choice.
The stakes are high, and we know from beforehand that there was talk of potentially Shazam rolling over into the new wave of movies, and I'm sure the anxiety was super high from the performance not happening with this movie. But at the same time,
He
don't
says,
react.
then I got flack about it because people were saying, "Oh, what are you doing? You're trying to blame this guy because your movie's not doing well, like you're trying to blame us," he said.
Yeah.
Listen, I haven't blamed anybody. That's not one single person that I have blamed for anything about the way that our movie has performed or not performed. The reason I decided to share that was not because I want to blame anybody for anything. It's because I do not want to be blamed for things that are not on me. And as a leader, and I believe the protector of my family, my Shazamly, and everyone who works so hard on these movies, we have been doing everything we can to fight for you fans. And then he goes on to say he's a comic book nerd. He grew up reading them, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, people are slagging on James Gunn because Jennifer Holland, his wife, who is an actress who's on Peacemaker and was in Suicide Squad, yes, but is connected to the Justice Society. We used Jennifer and Steve in that scene, in the mid-credit scene in Shazam, but that was not the original intent. The original intent was to have Hawkman and Cyclone there to invite me. So our intent, our desire, Walter Hamada, Peter Safran, David Sandberg, myself, everybody, we had an awesome scene that would have tied me into the JSA with Hawkman and Cyclone, and we were thwarted.
Thwarted is such a word choice.
Yes.
Okay.
I like it. I like it almost as
I have
much as-
things to say about this, but I'll wait till you're done.
All right. I'm coming to the defense of the truth because the truth is good. We should all live in it, guys, even when it's hard, even when it's something that might fly in the face of something that we already might have believed before that now challenges whatever our idea or our opinion is. We need to live in the truth, is what he said.
Okay. First things first.
Yes.
Not very many people saw Black Adam and liked it.
Yeah.
It's true.
So, as cool as those characters are, you're going to get more recognition having characters from a highly successful HBO show
Wonder
come
Woman.
over and pull you into the next wave
Yes.
of DC movies versus characters which are cool and played by awesome people, but nobody cared about that movie after the first couple weeks. So they made the right choice, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, spoiler, it's Wonder Woman that shows up at the end.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
Which is
But,
confusing.
Carrie doesn't care at all about spoilers.
Nah.
I don't care.
It's been
Not
out.
about
It's been
this.
It's been out for a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, not about this. And
Hey, I
then,
care about spoilers of things you like.
And then the director said he's a little surprised with the film's criticism. He says, I wasn't expecting a repeat of the first movie critically, but I was still a little surprised because I think it's a good film. After 6 years of Shazam, I'm definitely done with superheroes for now.
Aw.
I don't blame him.
It's okay.
He says sad but true. But then Rachel Ziegler, who is in the movie, said some people are out there just being senselessly mean, and it's unnecessary. And I know, if you can't handle the heat and all that nonsense, you're right. But our film is actually very good. It's just cool to hate on fun nowadays. That's okay. We're good, he says.
I think there's some truth to that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You know, because I saw it opening weekend. I quite enjoyed it. I think I said it was like a 4 out of 5 in my book. I mean, I'm historically easy on movies except for Tenet. But
Didn't the first one come out during COVID?
The first one,
No, it came out right before.
It was before.
Yeah, because I watched it during COVID, like when it hit HBO, and I loved it so much because everything was a bummer, and I needed that optimism and that upbeat, that upbeat, gee, wow, superhero thing really resonated with me. So, I don't know. It's hard when things fail that you put all your heart and soul into. I get that.
I get it.
Yeah.
Also, the Wonder Woman thing, it's in the commercials, Tony.
Oh, that's right.
They've
I
been
stopped
showing it everywhere.
watching the trailers and the commercials after the first 2 trailers. So
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Then more disturbing business of show news.
Oh, no.
One of Marvel Studios' most important executives is gone.
This is nuts.
This is a weird one.
Is
I
she,
read about this
like,
too. What's the deal with?
Is she no longer employed, or was she disappeared?
Well, that's what we
She's
don't know.
No
she
longer
retconned?
employed. They
Was she
fired
retconned?
her.
Victoria,
She wasn't but apparently she was blindsided by this news too.
Oh dang!
Victoria Alonso, who has been with Marvel Studios since it was in an office upstairs from a BMW dealership.
Oh, no
in
kidding.
Hollywood.
Wow.
Yeah, she's OG.
Been there. She's been there since the beginning. It was just announced that she was no longer with the company. Now, she's got a memoir coming out in the next few weeks, and I'm sure that, we'll get the answer. But Disney is saying that she violated her contract by working on this movie, Argentina 1985, I want to say it's called.
She's a producer on it, and it was
Yeah.
a very good movie. It was nominated for Best International Feature.
Yeah. And so they say that in her contract it says thou shalt not work with another company. Her people, she's not said anything. Her people said that Disney was aware of it and was cool with it. Mm-hmm. So we don't know what happened exactly yet.
That's nuts.
It is nuts.
This is a nuts thing to be fired over.
Yeah.
It seems to me like they could have worked something out. Something must have. I mean, there must have been name calling or something that happened. I don't know. But anyway, so there's that. Then, of course, the Star Wars universe has its own set of problems.
So many problems.
They just need to stop announcing stuff.
I know, right?
Where's the news here? Star Wars universe problems.
Now we've got.
That's like saying DC's struggling. Oh, okay. We know that.
Star Wars Celebration is coming here in a week or so, and we'll probably get it all explained then. But here, I loved this little bit because I was excited that Damon Lindelof was writing a Star Wars script, right?
Right? That was going to be fun.
It was going to be great. Well, what he did is he wrote it, handed it in, and ran.
What? Like, don't throw.
Is he afraid of it?
I'm hiding so I can't be hit by the things you're going to throw at me.
Exactly. Well, here's what he said. I love this quote. It said that the degree of difficulty is extremely, extremely, extremely high when it comes to creating a film for Star Wars.
It really is.
If it can't be great, listen to this. If it can't be great, it shouldn't exist. I think it's possible that sometimes when you hold something, get this, when you hold something in such high reverence and esteem, you start to get in the kitchen and you just go, maybe I shouldn't be cooking. Maybe I should just be eating.
Oh, no.
And I'll just leave it at that.
I know that feel.
Yeah,
Yep.
I feel that a lot.
His Darth Binks movie.
It's
Would've been
weird
great.
though. When I turned in my Star Wars script and ran, no one reported it at all.
Well, Stephen Knight saw Damon Lindelof's script lying on the floor at Lucasfilm, and picked it up. So he's in charge of it now. Knight will
Is that
work
how
on
it
this.
works? I
Hey,
found
what's
the
this?
script.
Can
This
I
is
have-
mine now.
Can I have this? Anyone? Can I have this?
I'm gonna fold up my Star Wars script into little paper airplanes and just start like throwing them in the office.
So Stephen Knight is going to work on the script. He's going to be working with Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, who also helmed episodes of Ms. Marvel, and so he's the guy who created Peaky Blinders, and
Nice.
He's done a lot of stuff.
I wonder if it was Peaky Blinders in space.
Oh, Lindelof he did the Lost, co-created Lost, and he did the Watchmen series on HBO, which was fantastic.
I wonder if it's Lost in Space. Come on.
Tony.
Oh wait, I got that. Don't worry.
Thing is,
There it is.
if he was, I mean, if he could pull off Watchmen like he did,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder what scared him away from
Do you know what it
following
was?
through.
He and Dr. Manhattan showed up
In Star Wars.
in Star Wars.
I grow tired of these rebels.
It's like the opening crawl is somehow Ponda Baba lived, and then it's just like the dance number and the whole. They actually go back to that Robot Chicken episode, and it turns out Ponda Baba really was an architect, and Obi-Wan Kenobi really did ruin his career by cutting his arm off.
Ain't nobody messed with the 501st, huh?
I like that. There you go.
Yeah. You got clone troopers running ponies. I mean, it's intense stuff.
It's gonna be awesome.
Honestly, I think that Damon Lindelof knows what Star Wars fans are. I do.
I wonder if he
That's
wrote
why
like
he
a
ran.
Rian Johnson type script and was like, "Oh, I know what happened to him."
Yep.
He probably talked with Ryan and went, "Are you crazy? What are you doing?"
So
here's
Ryan's
the
like,
script.
"Don't do
I'm-
it."
I made some bold new decisions.
Stop. We only want retreads here.
Don't do it. Then in other news, Justin Roiland,
This guy.
yeah. Looks like a stand-up guy. Violence charges dismissed. Domestic violence charges dismissed by Orange County DA.
That means nothing happened, right?
No, it just
No.
says the case. What it says was,
Yeah.
is the case was dismissed as a result of insufficient evidence to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. That's what the DA said.
So it sounds like Paramount made a donation to the policeman's ball.
And it would have been
Them screenshots, though.
I would have
Yeah,
just
exactly.
happily moved on from this story, but then Justin Roiland decided to make a post titled "Justice,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
all about how he's right and everyone else is wrong, and
Here's the thing. Coming from me, who is a huge Rick and Morty fan, Solar
Yes.
Opposites, I really enjoy those shows.
Yep.
Just because there was not enough evidence for this case to go forward does not invalidate all of the other people that came forward with screenshots of DMs and personal testimony about how much of a doucher this guy is.
right, like OJ was found not guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm just like, and Rebecca, you're 100% right. What he should have just done is nothing. Don't say anything.
All these rich people, J.K. Rowling, Justin Roiland,
Yeah.
Zachary Levi, all these people need to do
Mel
is
Gibson.
just
Yep.
Mel Gibson, just be quiet. Just be
just be
quiet.
quiet.
Just be
Oh,
quiet
yeah.
and sit
Count
on
your-
your throne of millions and millions of dollars.
Yes. I was going to say, count your money in silence and wait for people to forget about the bad things you did so you can make some more projects.
That's
Keep
what
your
I do
horrible
and look at
opinions
my
to
life.
yourself.
Every day.
Look at Hugo Boss.
I've got like
Yeah.
Good example.
Volkswagen,
Volkswagen.
Fanta.
Mr. Boss, can we look at your portfolio? Ooh, this is kind of problematic. Yeah, but it's fancy.
Maybe we need to show J.K. Rowling and Justin Roiland 21 Jump Street.
That's what they need.
That's what they need.
But you guys are right. Like every day I sit down and I count my $48.27 and I am absolutely quiet about everything that I've done wrong.
Well,
Exactly.
when Disney's up, you have $48.73.
True. My Disney stock has not been doing well lately.
Yo,
And I'm telling you, I actually sat through the investors meeting last month and it was a beating.
Yeah,
you're
Jay.
gonna have a great Q4 though. I believe it. No, did you see that in that same tweet? people dragged him in the comments, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the best part was somebody said Justin Roiland right now, and they showed the Jelly Bean King.
Yep, that's him.
Yep.
That's him.
Carl in the chat room. Carl in the chat room hits it right on the head. His DVD commentary should have been used as evidence against him.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And there was a
Oh,
there was
so
at
now
least,
y'all are against free speech.
There was at least one episode of a podcast that he was on where he said some highly questionable things about his taste in girls, women.
What, is it illegal
Someone
to
needs
be
to
a
thwart him.
misogynist?
I think he's going to be in the same boat that John Chris Falusi found himself in, where Chris Falusi gave himself enough rope, and people were just like, "Oh yeah, damn straight, he's a groomer." Anybody who's been to a convention with this dude knows what he is, and he's not finding work right now.
No, not for a long time. Also, and this is really unfortunate. Funko has laid off all the original Mondo employees.
This is an actual crime.
This is a crime.
Crime.
As we've reported on this show earlier, Funko having some problems with their toy department. So what do? You take it out on another department.
That's right. And take all your extra inventory to the pit.
Exactly.
And then you cancel their movie right before it got released.
You know what this? This means though? Mondo posters, like secondhand Mondo posters, are about to get real expensive.
We've got a couple
About
of
to
them.
get real expensive.
They started out
correction.
expensive.
They're about to get even more expensive.
I have a Mondo poster from Highlander, and I have one for the third of the new Star Trek movies, and
I've got
they're worth hundreds.
I've got
Really?
a few
'Cause
more.
I've got one that Jimmy was a huge fan of the Mondo stuff.
Yep.
He gave me one of the first Avengers movie.
Oh, it's
And-
probably worth bank.
I haven't.
Jimmy
I've
used
been-
to have that Winter Soldier one that I coveted.
Yeah,
That's right.
Coveted so much.
I need to take that to a frame shop and get it framed.
Do you have it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to commit a crime. I'm going to commit a crime against the covenants of Mike, and I'm going to look something up on the internet real quick. But he's
Well, here's
Kerry,
here's
let me
the
know when you get that framed. I'll break into your house and I'll take it.
Oh no, I don't have the Winter Soldier one. I have the Avengers
Oh.
one that he gave me. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm on the hunt for the Winter
I
Soldier
can tell
one.
you misunderstood me. Let's see. So it's unclear what the goal is now. The people who've been let go are the co-founders, Mitch Putnam, Rob Jones,
oh man.
Insane.
Senior Creative Director Eric Garza. They were responsible for the company's poster output. Now it says here that the poster output is expected to continue, just with different people, according to Mondo's Toy and Records division remains intact. It says.
Let me tell you who those different people are that'll be making the posters. It's called Midjourney version 5. It's an AI art generator.
Yep.
I think you're absolutely spot on.
Yep.
Yep.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah. So
Artist-
I just looked real quick. My Highlander poster, low side 250.
Whoa.
Really? Wow.
I'm gonna look up what my. I'll do it later.
Over the years, the company's cash grew exponentially, highlighting by its infamously quick poster sellouts. You remember, I could never get them. Was why I got turned off because they sold out so quickly.
The only reason why Jimmy got them is because and I'm not kidding, Jimmy would get them because he would call Mondo's publicity rep and sweet talk her for an hour, and then she'd send him 5 posters. And he did this
contacts.
every time there was a poster he wanted. Yep.
Slippin' Jimmy, he was always the best. at that.
Slippin' Jimmy.
Yep.
Artist
Jimmy
Daniel
Junkins.
Danger says they do not understand they lost their entire artist base. He says, I want to work with Rob, Mitch, and Eric. They're Mondo. They're not. If they're not there,
Right.
it's just Funko.
Right.
According to several sources, since the purchase, Mondo's employees were conducting business as usual, planning projects for the future, but then Funko's losses that we talked about, 10% of the company was let go, some of which was from Mondo.
Wow.
The company's successful toy and record lines continue for now. For fans,
Are the records really that more successful than the posters?
no
They're
idea.
charging $50 for those things.
But they say that the poster division will continue. But again, I don't think you're wrong,
No,
Tony.
we
I
noticed-
think it's an AI. Yeah.
Rebecca noticed something when the Into the Spider-Verse posters went up last month, and she got in on one, and I was looking at it because like 2 hours later, I was able to get one. I was like, wait a second, what's going on? And we started looking into it, and they had changed the formula where there were 2 variants of the poster that were on sale with a limited number, and then the main poster was a limited time, like 2 weeks. So, but people who've been for the last 5 or 6 years living on this scarcity model of Mondo posters were still buying up that poster because it's like, oh, I got it. I got the poster.
That's personally why I am a sucker for Mondo, because I get sucked into the, oh my God, I got to get it now before they run out. Same thing with Super Yaki. Like, I got to get it right now before they run out of it. And that's like the only reason I got that Spider-Verse poster.
Yeah, well, it's a good looking poster. So,
and I'm excited.
Did you mention how long ago Mondo was purchased by Funko?
It was just a while ago, wasn't it?
Less than a year.
Less than a year.
They had Mondo for less than a year before they jettisoned.
Wow, that's too bad.
That is.
Well, covet your Mondo posters if you have them. Love and protect them.
I love them very much.
No, they're good stuff. I wish if I had managed to get a hold of that Lord of the Rings, the Return of the King poster. It's like I see it and I would just weep inwardly.
That was a good looking one.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. What did y'all consume this week? Who wants to go? I know that Rebecca saw John Wick.
Yeah, do you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Oh, well, let me pull up my list really quick. I watched a couple of stuff on Hulu, History of the World Part 2. I've never seen History of the World Part 1, so I'm not a Mel Brooks fan. I just have never seen it. But History of the World Part 2 is exactly my jam. I thought it was hilarious. It's all comedians that I like. Every time a new comedian showed up, I was like Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I was like, I know that one. Thought it was very funny. Let's see. I also watched the Miley Cyrus Endless Summer thing on Disney Plus. If you like Miley Cyrus, that looks fantastic. RoboCop. I watched RoboCop for the first time.
The original.
The original RoboCop from 1987.
87, yep.
And if you go to my new YouTube channel, The Critic's Darling, you can watch my full reaction to... It's 10 minutes long, so you don't have to watch the whole movie, although you probably should. I give RoboCop 2.5 out of 5, but I had a blast.
I love that clip. That was a great clip. Oh, you did wonderful with that.
Thank you. And then I also, you can see my review also on The Critic's Darling, for John Wick Chapter 4, which is out this weekend. John Wick is back again. And he, again, fighting for his freedom, got to finally defeat the High Table. He's a jet-setting. I want to know how many Delta miles he has, because he's just jet-setting. He goes from New York to Osaka, back to New York, then to Berlin, then to Paris. Like, all in the same suit. I also need to know what the timeline of these movies is, because I rewatched John Wick Chapter 3, and the adjudicator is like, yeah, he started this last week.
Oh.
So, I don't know.
How does he sleep?
John Wick 4, compared to the previous installments, feels really toned down, but the quality of the movie is still really good. Like, the story part of the movie is still pretty good. Bill Skarsgård is the bad guy of this one. And he wears a lot of shiny suits. There's a lot of shiny suits in this one.
I like a shiny suit.
Lots of shit. The real standout of this movie is the cinematography. It has no business looking as good as it did. I audibly moaned in the theater at one of the shots because it was just so good.
I'll watch what she's watching.
I'll watch what she's watching. I gave it 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 stairs.
Wow.
4 out of 5
because
stairs.
John Wick versus 5,000 stairs in this one.
Oh.
All right. Who's next?
I'll go.
All right, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
So I just been getting back into stand-up, watching a lot of comedians. Ian Lara on HBO Max, romantic comedy. Check that one out. And then Gen Z, Jenny Zangrino, she just dropped a new special, great comic on Comedy Central, so make sure you go peep that. And then, because I'm in H-Town, Houston, they got comic book stores literally on every block.
Really?
So
Really?
hold on, let me just grab.
I didn't know there was a lot of comic book stores in
I went and
Houston.
stopped over
That's
at
good to know.
Bedrock City.
Okay.
Shout out to them. They were really nice to me when I walked in the door. And I copped some Chew by John Lane.
Oh,
That's
Chew
good.
is
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, I
dude.
never read it.
That's good.
I started
in-
East to West because I love John Hickman. You know,
Oh,
Yeah,
so
baby.
good.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, you are in
Yep.
for a treat.
and then I got
What's that
Bitter
one?
Root. Bitter Root.
Oh, okay.
It's like black steampunk X-Men. So,
cool.
What?
sign me up. Sign me up. So, those are my recommends, and that's really about it, man.
Our friend Egg Fu is familiar with Bedrock City.
Yeah, it was a good time. I went to the hosted yoga after. I had a brisket scramble. It was terrible, but it was a good time.
But it's brisket. How can it be terrible?
Jay's living his best life.
It sounds like it.
Not really. Not really.
Lee, you want to go next?
Yeah, so I only caught a couple of the things. I'm behind on Picard, Kerry. I'm really sorry. I know you literally exploded. You got to watch this right now.
There are
And,
things.
I know. I'm watching it today, but oh my gosh, I already know Star Trek's just been amazing this season. The newest episode of The Mandalorian. Really, really loved seeing Ahmed Best on this as a Jedi.
Say
It was
something
fantastic.
effing nice about Jar Jar Binks.
No, Ahmed Best kind of, he got screwed by a lot of people. So seeing him being able to play a Jedi and do cool things was really neat.
But I did not know this about that character that he plays, though. That's the same character that he played on that game show, the kid
On that
game
Jedi
show.
Temple game.
Jedi
Nice.
Temple game
Nice.
show. It's the same character, so
now-
that means that game is canon.
So now you know what. Now you know what happened to Keller and Beck. So just a great episode. Also watched the end of Shrinking, which I think it was the season finale of Shrinking, which was a lot
Was
of
it the
fun.
finale?
I think it was. It felt like a finale. And then what did we catch on Wednesday? I forget what the other show is. Been trying to read my old 80s X-Men comics, and I've come to one horrifying conclusion, which is that they are written from a different era. And I realize it's almost half a century ago, but Chris Claremont, who was my favorite writer in the 80s and 90s, reading back on it now, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is like reading instructions on how to date from the 1920s, right? Like they always had those style guides and those etiquette primers, and that's basically what you're reading here. And then also recognizing that Kitty Pryde was like 13 years old and obviously being fetishized on. So,
it's like reading Dune, is what you're saying.
yeah, because in Dune everybody's like 15 or 16, and Baron Harkonnen's like, I'll have a lookalike of that one delivered to my room. But then the other thing is with the new Geek Show tabletop project, I ended up watching the live stream of Games Workshop revealing their upcoming 10th edition of Warhammer 40K. This was 2.5 hours of me moaning audibly, kind of like Rebecca during John Wick, because they're like, "Oh, here's the new Lionel Johnson," and I'm all like, "Here's some new Beastmen." So anyway, games, they're terrifying for me, but that's what I watched. I will watch Picard today though, Kerry, because we do have our live deep dive of the new Picard on Monday, 3:00 Mountain Time.
All right. Tony, what do you got?
We started a show called Inside Man on Netflix.
Okay.
It's that one that has David Tennant and Stanley Tucci.
Oh yeah, that one
It's,
looks pretty good.
fun. It's who's the other Doctor Who guy that wrote
It's
a lot
Peter
of them?
Capaldi who is in it.
No. Stephen Moffat. Stephen Moffat is the guy that wrote this show. Is that
But
bad?
isn't Capaldi in this one?
I haven't seen him yet, and we're in the third of the four
Maybe I'm
episodes.
thinking of a different show.
But it's really cool. It's really interesting. Really just kind of out there concept as far as the show basically revolves around anyone's a murderer in the right circumstances with the right person.
Yep.
And it's an interesting show. So I highly recommend that one. We'll watch the last episode of that today probably.
Capaldi was in a show about a time-traveling serial killer. It was
That's
very
Doctor Who.
interesting. Oh,
No, he's a genocider, isn't he? Doctor Who.
Serial
yeah.
killer, genocider.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
That's true. Just a number. A number's the only difference.
Semantics.
all genociders are serial killers, but not all serial killers are genociders.
That's
There we
it.
go.
Right there.
we go.
Wow, that needs to be a T-shirt.
Maybe someone just needs to show him 21 Jump Street.
There's a
That's maybe
certain
try
crowd.
that.
Yeah, there's a certain crowd that will buy that. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
And then I watched a documentary on Netflix also called Stutz. Have you guys heard of
Oh,
this?
Yeah, is that,
I have a friend who is begging me to watch it, and I just don't like Jonah Hill. Oh no,
My
am I
wife is begging me to
racist?
watch it.
No, here's the thing. It's really good. The documentary is just Jonah Hill talking to his therapist, who's been his therapist for years. But the documentary isn't about Jonah Hill. It's about his therapist. His therapist, I can't remember his first name, but his last name, Stutz.
Stutz.
And
Stutz McStutz. He's Scottish.
Yeah. He's had a really kind of interesting life, and it's just a fascinating person. I think it's like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, well worth your time. I'd say check out Stutz. It was really cool. And then last but not least, my wife had never watched Ted Lasso. And
My God.
we started watching Ted Lasso this week. We did the whole season this week.
This week's Ted Lasso. I can see all the little plot lines that are developing.
Yep.
See,
And they all end with me
watch that,
sobbing.
yeah.
that's the only thing I regret by having my wife start Ted Lasso
So you
this
can't
last
start
week.
the new season of Ted
I
Lasso?
can't start the new season
Yeah.
yet, but we burned through the first season this week. We'll do the second
short
season
seasons.
next week. Yeah, they're only 10 episodes. I knew I liked that show from watching it last. I forgot how great it is, though.
It's so good.
Oh man, the first season just
It's way good.
chef's kiss.
It's way good. I watched on Netflix. I think it was, or was it Hulu? Hulu. The movie Boston Strangler.
Oh, how is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'll say this: too much Keira Knightley, not enough Carrie Coon. I'll say that.
Too
How
much
is her
Keira
Boston
Knightley
accent?
talking like this.
Yes, yes.
Got her. You got her.
Does she have a Boston accent in this?
She tries.
We're trying to find the Boston Strangler.
Everybody else in the show seems to pull off a Boston accent, except
Strangler.
for her. Yeah, Strangler. Let's see. Top Chef is back, and I only
Top
bring it up.
Chef.
I only bring it up because there was a part where they decided to dress casually and go out to a British pub.
Uh-oh.
Did they wear sweats?
You can't ask Padme Lakshmi to dress casually. I'm sorry, she's incapable of it. Even that, if that was her casual, she is still more fabulous than anybody on television.
She wore the
Once-
cashmere tracksuit.
Once somebody described this was way back in high school, somebody described my style as celebrity going grocery shopping, and I have been striving for that like ever since. And Padma Lakshmi is like, she's
no.
got it.
Celebrity 24/7. She's always fabulous. There is a new series I started on Disney Plus I think it's called Restaurants at the End of the World or something like that, and it's with Kirsten Kish, who is a great chef.
That's a Douglas Adams book, Carrie.
Oh,
Restaurants
The
at the end of the world.
universe.
end of the world, end of the earth, something.
Okay.
But she goes to restaurants that are literally just in the middle of nowhere, and
So,
I mean,
so
you
this
have
is
to.
one of those flat Earth documentaries. It's like I
This
found
is-
the edge of the world, and there's a restaurant there.
This is the kind of thing that they have her do. Is that there's this special kind of watercress that only grows in a waterfall, so she has to climb down the waterfall
That's awesome.
just to get watercress for this chicken recipe that they're doing. Anyway, I'll watch
And
her
then
do
there's like
anything,
the
'cause
indigenous people of the area. Well, that is our sacred watercress that you just harvested for
Yeah.
your chicken dish.
And she
It's
says,
like
I
that.
know. That's why I charge so much.
And I charge $126 for it.
Exactly. I'm one of those people. Anyway, but yes, I loved Mandalorian this week. It was great. But Picard just keeps getting better, and you're going to be freeze framing, Lee. You're going to be freeze framing so much of this because you're like, was that what I think it was? Oh my
it
God,
was.
yes, it was.
And it
Let
was.
me-
You know,
Let me say
So-
this. I'm behind on Picard, but my mom has been loving it so much that she actually texted me out of the blue this week. Have you been watching Picard?
Yep.
It is the best thing they've done in years.
We talked about it on our last deep dive. We're like, this is literally everything that should have happened. We talked about it a little bit where we didn't see what happened with the Dominion War with the Next Gen crew. We just saw them go to horny teenage planet where Worf got a zit. And Picard season 3, they're just like, how should we end this story where everybody goes out on a high note and with dignity? And oh my God, are they pulling it off? And it's your primary is 84 years old. I get it. He's not going to be doing a lot of action scenes, but they're working it out. They're working it out.
it is, and it's working out beautifully. Even
Star
with
Trek's
the
not about the action. It's about the intellectual.
We forget that sometimes. When they do the action, sometimes it's glorious, and you go, this is what I've been waiting to see, and you forget that it's actually about the human experience.
Yeah, and that's my favorite thing about Star Trek is the best Star Trek is usually about 50-50 of those two things, or 60-40,
Right.
give or take either way.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I just watched Measure of a Man from Next Generation, which is just all philosophical talk.
Oh, yeah.
And boy, did that appeal to me.
Measure of a Man is the first season of Picard, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to a degree. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yep.
But I'm just enjoying it immensely. Anyway, let's see. Games, Tony?
Oh yeah, games. I got so excited about Star Trek.
For the folks that are following Star Citizen, I know there's 3 of you.
There's 4 of us.
There's a hot patch just went through to fix things that were causing people to not be able to get into the game at all, and it's exciting because what they have put in, though, Tony, I have to tell you, this is so exciting.
I'm listening.
I went to go pick up some illicit substances that I was smuggling, and because persistence is put into the game now, there were 4 wrecked ships outside of the outpost, and they were players' ships who had been destroyed or whatever, and they were there, and they had been there for days, and because of the grime that was settling over the ships, you could tell which one had been there longest, and I had a moment and said, okay, this is why I play this
That
game.
is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Space garbage.
I hope
You
that was
have
enough.
no idea, Rebecca.
Oh, and because of persistence, though, people keep throwing their cans of water on the ground in the space station. So yes, there is space garbage, and yes, I do pick it up
I
because
just
I'm that guy.
Look at all my trash.
I
Look at all
updated
my
the
space
game.
trash.
I updated it yesterday, so I'm ready to jump in again.
You don't spend your whole life hoping you get into an immersive space sim and then tolerate people's garbage.
Oh no! See, I'm gonna walk over and go like, "That's so cool. I wonder how long that's been there. Oh my gosh, this is awesome."
You could do that in real life. You could just go outside.
Yeah, I went outside a few times. The
When's the last time
were,
you went outside, Rebecca Frost?
The graphics
This
were
morning.
amazing. The graphics outside are amazing, but the gameplay is just poopy.
All right.
Yeah.
The missions. Oh my God, the missions.
So many
All
side
right, so
quests.
Side quest, go to the bank. Side
That's
quest,
exactly
go
it.
get goat cheese from the grocery store.
Like my whole life is just side quests.
This
Prostate
quest,
exam. Side
this quest
failed that
giver
one.
won't get off my ass.
All right, games coming out this week. This one is really interesting. I really don't know what to think of it. It'll be fascinating to see how it does. It's called Crime Boss Roque City. And if it's the game I'm thinking of, it's that one that was showed off earlier this year that showed off. Anyway, that has like 15 stars you recognize doing the voices.
And it's all Jonah Hill.
It's just impersonations of Jonah Hill. So keep an eye on that one. It's coming out on PC this week, and then the other big one coming out on PC this week is. Yeah, that's the right game I'm thinking of. I just looked it up. The other big one coming out this week is The Last of Us Part 1 on PC is finally coming out this
Oh,
week.
the remaster?
Yeah, it's actually
Okay,
like a
I wanna play
remaster
that.
of a remaster because The Last of Us Part 1 came out on PS3 and then they up-resed it for PS4 and then they did a full-on like remake of it for PS5 and PC.
So they have full-on fingies now, not just the static mitt?
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
real fingies.
Okay, gotcha.
Did they not have fingies before?
I think they had mitts in the
They
first
had
one.
they had fingies on PS3. They were just kind of
fingies.
chunky. They were pretty good. They were pretty
I'm only used to current technology. I don't know nothing
Yeah.
about
Sorry, I'm thinking of-
PS3
I
technology.
was thinking about World of Warcraft when it came out, and everybody's like, I'm a mighty barbarian, and these are my mittens.
Yeah,
With
exactly.
fingers drawn on them.
These are my pauldrons that
So-
move like my shoulders,
Yeah.
Well, they still do that, but crime. Okay, back to Crime Boss though. Roque City. The people in this game. You've got Chuck Norris. You've got Danny Trejo. You've got Travis Baker.
Sounds like a game for old dudes to
You've
play.
got Michael Rooker. The cast is ridiculous. Vanilla Ice is in there. And his name
No.
is Yellow.
Travis
which
Baker
is
or Travis
Ice.
Barker?
Let me go back.
Now, I have a question about the graphics.
They look really good.
Are they good enough to show all the pores on Chuck Norris's nose?
I don't know if they're that.
Because I've seen them in person, and you could fall into them. All right,
Endless
fall
pools.
into
And-
love with them.
It
and
looks like-
also his toupee. Also,
Yeah.
you need to see that.
It looks like they de-aged him in the game a little bit. He's a lot younger looking. It's Travis Baker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the
Oh no,
Warcraft.
sorry, I read the wrong thing. It's Michael Madsen as Travis Baker. So Michael Madsen is the actor.
Wow. They really brought out everybody. For
They got a big cast going on, so I'm interested to see how it goes. And here's the other thing that makes me curious about it is it's debuting at $40. It's a $40 game with all of these actors, when most games are $60 or $70 new these days. So anyway,
This economy.
keeping an eye on that, see if it's any good.
They got Danny Glover in this joint.
Danny Glover, yep,
Going Robert Smith and lowering the prices for the people.
that's right.
I will buy it if Danny Glover says, "I just got 2 more weeks to retire."
I ain't got enough patience for this nonsense, Murdoch.
And it looks like they do a pretty dang good job of recreating the actors and actresses' likeness. I mean, it looks just like them.
They look.
So there's that one. Something called Pirates Outlaws on the Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation. Forza Horizon 5 is getting a new expansion. If you like the Forza Horizon racing games, this one's called Rally Adventure. So I assume it's around rally racing. So that looks pretty good. What else? That's kind of about it. Oh, there is on the Switch, though. Don't forget, fitness boxing, Fist of the North Star. So if you like boxing, if you like boxing, and
Fist of the North Star is the anime that I saw when I was 21 years old, where he fought a really gigantic, like 5,000-pound mutant, and he punched his way all the way through his fat.
yeah, exactly. So you use the Switch. It's on
First
Switch.
anime I ever saw.
You use the Switch controllers to act as your hands, and you punch.
You can't punch that fast. There's no way you could punch so fast you could create a sonic boom that cuts through somebody's body.
I beg to differ.
I mean, I
I'm learning this
couldn't,
now.
but see, Jay's ready to go. He's
Yeah, well, Jay's a different physical fitness level than I am, Tony.
Fist of the North Star is a manga. Did you know this?
I did.
Yeah.
Started off as a manga.
And then
Now
an
it's a
animated-
boxing game.
I want this now.
Huh.
Oh, Jay, it
Jay's
comes
just
out
gonna
on the
play it, yeah.
30th.
No, this is a time device. I'm traveling into the future. I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, well, let me know
Wow.
how.
He's gonna go show the people 21 Jump Street.
Hey, get some milk for me while you're out, bud.
You guys thought this was a Nintendo Switch? This is a time travel device.
My Nintendo Switch looks like that, but it's just a Switch. Lame.
I'm sorry.
All right, that's it for games.
All right.
It's not charged.
Oh, your time device
No
is not
time
charged.
traveling for you, buddy.
I'm stuck. I'm stuck here, guys.
I made a mistake.
I shouldn't have made it solar. Can only time travel during the day.
Only during the day.
Only during the day. Yes, don't forget Saturday matinee. We're going to be doing our show live. Let's see, it's April 8th at Broovies Cinema Pub in Salt Lake. The movie is Con Air.
Dun, dun,
Which I believe the physical copy of Con Air just showed up at Tony's house.
Wait a
It did,
minute.
yes.
Rebecca is singing the Top Gun.
Top Gun soundtrack,
not Con
it
Air.
should be the sequel to Con Air, maybe.
Doors are at 11:30. We'll start doing the podcast at noon, and then Con Air will start shortly thereafter. There about 1 o'clock or so. It's
we don't
pay
get a
what
YouTube
you
show.
want. That's how you do it. Pay what you
And
want.
we're doing this for my birthday. My birthday's not until later in the month, but just keep that in mind when you show up.
Where's
and they
your
ask
birthday
if you want to
registry?
pay or not.
Yeah,
Oh no.
think about that.
Just gave
I
her a
guess-
good idea.
I guess
think
I'll
about
start an
that.
Amazon wish list.
You can make a spreadsheet.
I should already got one.
Jace,
You guys are saying all the right words for Rebecca.
All right.
stop it!
We're going to leave Jay and Rebecca now to talk about spreadsheets.
Yeah, that's another
just-
hour.
Get her all, yeah. All right. Anyway, thank you all for joining us. And, see Rebecca's reviews and stuff at
The Critic's Darling.
the Critics Darling. The Critics, Darling? Or just the
Yep.
The
Critics
comma's very
Darling?
important, but if you just type The Critic's Darling into YouTube, they don't care about the comma.
All
You'll
right.
find it regardless.
It's right there.
Yeah.
And join us here for more stuff. Thank you all for being here. Thanks.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Believe in yourself.